Hey guys, it's Colin and welcome back to our Scratch class. So, last time we left off, we only had one attack pattern, and that was our Gobo going up and shooting out his tracking starfish. So, today we're gonna finish up the other three attack patterns and let's get right into it. First of all, this second attack pattern is gonna be Gobo just like moving in a figure 8, okay? So, we wanna do when I receive, and then obviously drop down menu, new message, pattern 2. Okay. So for pattern 2, first we want to go to motion and then do set rotation style to all around. Because this way now, like when we're moving in a figure 8, it's gonna be like he's gonna like turn with it. So it just looks better that way, okay? And then secondly, we want to do glide 1 second to X as 0 and Y as 0. So that's so he just goes in the middle so he can actually start his thing. And lastly, we want to do point in direction and do negative 135. So that's just where we want to hint a point so we can start a figure 8. So after this, we want to go to control, okay? And then take out one repeat. And then this one should be repeat 4. And now we need another repeat. And then this time repeat 20. Okay, so repeat 20, now we do motion and then move, data, speed, steps, because that is how fast we want him to move. So first he's going to start here pointing that direction. After he should be around here, okay? So now we want to go control and take another repeat block. And this one is going to be turning him. You actually want to go to operators and go to this division block, and then in the first step do 270. In this first slot do 270, and the second one go to data and do turn step. And then this one motion, we want to do turn right, data, turn step degrees, because turning right, and then motion, move, speed, steps. Move, speed, steps. And after that, this is pretty simple. We just right click this repeat 20, click duplicate, and then put it under it. And then this time, instead of turn right, we just want to do motion and then turn left, turn step degrees. Okay? And then once that's done, just right click that broadcast, bring it down, and then attach it here. And that's basically all we have to do. So here's pattern 2. Pattern 2 is going to be, let's go. Yes, see, this is our pattern 2. If I won't die there, but you can see it's starting to turn. Alright, now we need to move on to pattern 3. Okay, so pattern 3 is going to be Gobo bouncing all around here, okay? So we want to go to events and then do when I receive pattern 3, okay, new message, pattern 3, okay. So we're actually going to use something called a switch case. That's kind of like an if statement. Well, actually, in Scratch is basically an if statement, but if you're doing actual coding, it's something different. But they both do the same thing. So the switch is basically like a variable you want to test. And then so you have the switch of this, and then case, right? So case, if it's this, then do that. And then you can have another case, but if it's this, do that, and then just keep on going, okay? So you want to go to data and then do make a variable and call it switch, and then for the sprite only, and uncheck that. To make this work, we're gonna send Gobo to one of these corners, okay? And then he's gonna start bouncing all around. So what do you think we're gonna use a switch for? The switch is gonna be used for like deciding which corner to send him to. To make that random, we're gonna do set switch to, and then operators to pick random 1 to 4. And then we want to go to motion and then do set rotation style to left, right. Just looks better that way. And now we can start our switch. Okay, so we go to control. We need 4 if statements because a switch can be 4 possibilities. Now we need 4 equal. Actually, only 1 equal. Do data and then if switch. So if switch is 1, and we're going to send it up to the top left corner. So we want to do motion and then glide 1 seconds to -200 and 150. Okay, so now we just need to duplicate. If switch is 2, duplicate that. Then glide, we're going to send it to the top right corner. So this time we do +200. And you can guess the rest, right? Duplicate. If switch is 3, we'll send him to the bottom right corner. So duplicate. 200, and this time -150. And finally, if switch is 4, duplicate. Duplicate. And then we want to do -200, -150. So after this, he's going to be in one of the corners. So now we just need him to start bouncing. So we want to go to motion. First we want to do point in direction -100. And then control, we repeat 500. Do motion, move, data speed steps, and then motion, if on edge, bounce. So after that's all done, we want to broadcast. Okay, so that's pattern 3. Let's see if we can get it. It took a while to get him. I have to set it a big random 3 to 3. Let's just change it back to 1 and 4. Okay, last attack pattern. So attack pattern 4, we're gonna have Gobo moving like in this sort of wave. And then for those math people out there, you'll recognize it looks kind of like a sine wave, right? So then for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, sine is like a trigonometry function thing, and then you don't need to know much about it. Just know that when you graph it out, it looks like this kind of wave. Or actually, I'm not going to delve into that. Okay, so we go to events, and then when I receive new message pattern 4. Also, I noticed when I was doing pattern 3, I used 3 T's. Don't do that, spell it correctly. Okay, so when I receive pattern 4, this one's pretty simple, since we're actually just going to use a loop with the sine function to calculate it going up and down. So it's pretty short. We go to motion and then do set rotation style to left right. Glide 1 seconds to X as 170, Y as 0. Now we want to do point towards, well, not point in direction, point towards diver 1. And now we start off our loop. So we want to do repeat 500. And then, so first we want to do motion and then move, speed, except that's going to be too fast because we actually want to do operators and then take a division block and then move speed divided by 4 steps. So now we want to do motion and then set Y to, and this is where our sine function is going to come in. So we want to go to operators. First, take out a multiplication block, then a squirt of block. Put that inside the first slot. And then in the drop-down menu, select sine. And inside here, instead of 9, we want to do 2 more multiplication blocks. Now we want to do motion, and then scroll all the way down, find X position, put in that slot, and in the slot right next to it, we're going to put 1.15 because that's how big our gobo is. Okay, and then in here, we want to do 4, as we divided by 4 there. And then in this last slot, 150. And then if on edge, bounce. Put it inside the loop. And lastly, we just want to take this broadcast, duplicate, there. Okay, here is our green tracky starfish. Yeah, here's the sine wave, you see. He's moving up and down. Oh, dang it. But yeah, it's a nice finishing move. Okay, let's go. So lastly, once he dies, he kind of just stops, right? So we want to do something with it. We go to control, and then we can do, yes, take this stop all. And then instead of stop all, we want to do, take this drop down menu, stop other scripts in this sprite. Okay. And then we go to looks. So we could have him say something. So say arg for 1 second. And then for another second, we can maybe do, okay, I give up. And then we just do control repeat 1 times. Jesus, lags. 115 times. And then looks, change size by -1, and change color effect by 25. Okay, and then after that's done, now we want to do stop all. Okay, so let's try this. We could have events when D key, where's D? D key is pressed for die. Data set hit count to 100. Let's try this. BD arg. Okay, I give up. Yep, here we go. So that's we're all done with our boss now. So yeah. Now remember, if you have not subscribed already, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time.